Live from the Outpost Studios in Columbus, Ohio, you're listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy. Brought to you by IPMNation.com. Get ready for the gong heard round the world.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All Natural Being. Warning, All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy is designed to shake your sense of self to the core.
It's full contact psychology with an empowering twist, a philosophical loofah for your soul.
For those of you not ready or comfortable releasing your inner superhuman, listener discretion is advised.
Here's your host,
Brian Brawdy.
Well, that should work now, I would think. Good evening and welcome to All Natural Being. I'm Brian Brawdy, sporting a little bit of a swell tonight, but that's okay. I'll get over top of it. Once again, you know what Wayne said to me? He goes, make sure you hit the right on time, right? So that you know that you're going live to Facebook. And now, once again, when we get ready to go ahead and broadcast this, it says, oh, we're having some trouble here over on Facebook. So who knows what's going on? We're going to run with it and go from there. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic evening. You know, as I mentioned earlier, Dwayne, I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't think anyone's really going to be, is anyone hanging out tonight? Is anyone going to be here? Oh, look at that. A few people are here. Thank you so much. I thought most of the rest of us would be watching the elections, you know, big here in the States, that kind of thing. But let me right off the bat say hello to Alice and to Henry. Henry, nice to see you, brother. Wayne, thank you so very much. Well, Wayne's kind of has to join us, right? Because he's got to make sure that I'm doing everything right. Lee is here as well. Lee from Sales Copy Academy. And I should also take this time to mention that Sales Copy Academy is still a sponsor of the official countdown clock. Get lazy in my old age, so we're only doing 30 minutes now. But that's just in ramping up, making sure that I get back and, you know. So we're going into a 30-minute show here at All Natural Being. And then, you know, this evening at the bottom of the hour at 8:30, plenty of time to get in all the returns, plenty of time to get in all the returns from the political shenanigans going on today. Henry Noel will be with us from Thinking Re-Envisioned, and he'll be taking it over at the bottom of the hour to go from 8:30 to 9. So thank you all so very much for joining us here, as I say, at All Natural Being. A lot of cool things going on today. What I wanted to talk about, I put up a little post this morning talking about the bounce back. Hello, Alice. Talking about the bounce back, right? And basically saying that that's what our life comes down to. Fate's going to do what it can to chop block us at every turn. And then we just have to decide, what are we going to do to bounce back? And if you look at it as you get up and you go through your day, good evening, Candace. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us here at All Natural Being. When you look at that, and you go, okay, great. I know I'm going to get a chop block. I know fate's going to try to derail me. What is my bounce back plan? What am I going to do? And then, as I've said before, if things don't go quite the way you think they should, you go, yeah, you know, such is life. That's what happens. What's my bounce back plan? What am I going to do to square my shoulders with fate and go, nope, not going to happen? So a function of what I'd like to do in tonight's show for this half-hour version of All Natural Being, I should thank very quickly the good folks at IPMNation.com/TR now. If you happen to be listening while you're out and about in the go, thank you. It's an honor to be riding shotgun with you. John, good evening. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us here on All Natural Being. And, of course, at Facebook, if you're getting the live video feed, it's thanks to our good friends at Telestream's Wirecast. You know, I suspect a lot of I got an email the other day going, hey, we'd like to highlight you in terms of what you're trying to do there with All Natural Being. You know, there's a lot of churches like ESPN. There's some really big names that use this technology as well. So I really am thankful that they've, you know, that they're helping us get the video stream out. And this will be, I touched on it briefly last evening, and I've got some big news tomorrow coming during Lee Words Wednesdays. So you want to make sure you tune in for that. But I mentioned last evening that the folks at Guinness were like, well, do you have people spotters? Do you have people that will watch? Do you have people that document that you could actually do it? And thanks to Telestream's Wirecast, you all will be the ones that document it. The feed for the 81 to win coming, it will end up successfully, it's my plan at least, on Valentine's Day at 6 o'clock. We will have just hit the 81 hours to win. And I think the record is like 79 and something. But I just thought, if you're going to beat a record, beat it. Right? If you're going to if you're going to hold the world's record, then you should hold the world's record, not by a couple seconds, but so that's where we came up with the concept of 81 to win. And I think, to be honest with you, Guinness was somewhat sold on the idea, because instead of having people go punch a clock and go, yes, he was on for this hour, he was on for that hour, it's going to be you all. Right? You're going to be my proof. You're going to be the audience that goes, oh, no, he blathered on for 81 hours. That's for sure. So as I mentioned last evening, I also would be very interested in finding out, okay, great. What are some of the other things that you think? Good evening, Brother Wallman. Nice to see you as always. What are some of the other things you think I should do throughout the 81 hours? Like I'm getting ready to ask Henry. I guess I'm asking him here live so that he can't say no later when I ask him offline. But, he's great at music. I said, oh, maybe he'll record a little open or something for me. Good evening, Marcellus. Nice to see you. Hope all's going well in your world, brother. But what are the other things that you think we could do as a part of that 81? I'm really honored that Wayne Noel is going to be coming down for the run. Sue, my good friend Sue, will be coming. I'm told, I get my fingers crossed, that she'll be here for the attempt, so that'll be pretty cool. We have a pretty cool New Year. Not New Year's. What am I talking about? That's the shunt talking. I'm not going to be able to fall back on that a whole lot longer, though. Once they take this thing out of me, I'm not going to be able to say, oh, it's the shunt. Although it's been a great alibi. I told a friend of mine today, 81 hours in heels. That's a great idea. Yeah, just fantastic. It's a good thing I got the legs for it, right? So I'm going to have to lose a few pounds if... I'm going to have to lose a few pounds if I'm going to do it 81 hours in heels, but that's that's exactly what I'm talking about. People here in the thread will help me produce the segment. I think it's a great idea. What else? Keep them coming. Heels, maybe a kilt. I like that. I like that. So in any event, I was talking to my friends and said, hey, they said, oh, well, you're going to be able to get that shunt out. How's that going to feel? And I go, well, it's going to feel great. My body's been rejecting this thing since almost the minute they put it in, and it just wants out of me. And the symptoms, they start to tail away more and more every day. So I'm really excited about that. But what I will miss is the alibi of the amnesia. No, I could still get it, right? But I'll miss, people say to me, did you just say that? And by now my line is, maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Not really sure. Ooh, did you go here and do this and do that? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. So I'm really going to miss. It's going to be hard saying goodbye to the amnesia from low spinal fluid, right? Because it's like a built-in, it's just like a great built-in alibi. And I'm going to have to give that up. I'm not crazy about that. But I'm crazy about every other aspect of it. Or, as I said to Lee today, I'm just plain crazy. But I would love it if you all could continue to tell me, say, hey, like 81 hours in heels, right? I do love that idea, by the way. I don't know, right? I don't know. I was thinking of a joke right there, but I probably shouldn't even do it. I'll only get in trouble, right? In any event, so other things that you may suggest. Candace says selective. I like that. I could have selective amnesia. Who would know, right? If we keep it just between us, who would know if I was really faking it or not? That's a great idea. Selective amnesia. I like that. But for the 81 hours to win, I'm thinking of getting one of those chairs where I can hang upside down, maybe do a half hour of the radio show inverted. I thought that would be kind of cool. Lee says, in honor of the Valentine's Day part, I'd like to hear about people's I love me commitments and plans. Oh, that's a great idea. And you know what we should do tonight? I love the hat, Brian. Yeah, you know what it is? It's a little warm under the lights, but sometimes the swelling, even though I'm recovering, everything's great. It's like, remember Austin Powers, the movie, where he goes like this, he goes, mole. And as I've said before, this whole experiment has given me, wait a minute, do I still have my cable? This whole experiment has given me, let me see if I can fish it out, wherever it could be. I don't know. This whole experiment has given me an appreciation for, if you ever see, good evening, Bain. Thank you so very much for joining us. Have someone draw scenes while broadcasting. That's a great idea. It gives you sort of a Charles Bronson kind of look. Ooh, well, thank you very much. I never thought about that. Charles Bronson. Never thought about that. Thank you very much, brother. But it's given me a new appreciation, for, and let me just say, for anyone that's going to be offended, if you have kids listening, this would be a good time to turn down the volume, have them turn away. But it's given me a new appreciation for big-breasted women. If you've ever been involved in a situation like this, and a woman endowed in that way is always like this, going to guys, excuse me, up here, my eyes are up here. Well, I'll go out and about and I'm moving around and people stare at the top of my head, which is why I wear a hat from time to time ourselves. People kind of stare at the top of my head and I go, excuse me, my eyes, they're down here. And it's just crazy. Because me, my attitude, I walk in and everything stops in a room and people look and I go, yeah, well, you know what? My age, still got it going on, still a head turner. And then people around me go, no, they're not looking at you, dope. They're looking at the shunt. They haven't seen many people, right? So I wear the hat, just like to go undercover until I can keep the swelling at bay. And I'll tell you, sometimes in the winter, it gets pretty cold down here in the studio. So that's the real truth behind it. Marcia, thank you so very much. I won't be having a special day. I'll be too tired. Candace, we got to know, why are you going to be You're going to be tired. I will have been up for 81 hours. Why will you be too tired? That's what we'd like to know. Oh, also tonight, forgive me, I'm sorry about this, 833-MIND-UPS mind-ups. Just like push-ups or sit-ups or pull-ups, 833-MIND-UPS. You got an idea? Let them stare. I know, I love it, Marcellus, I really do. And then it's fascinating when you try to have a conversation with them and you can see them go, right? All they're doing is staring at the shunt. It's been a learning curve, but you're absolutely right. Let them stare. So getting back to what you all can do and how you can help me is go, okay, Brian, what if we do this for the 81 hours? What if we do that for the 81 hours? But just as important, do you do voiceover work? Do you go, oh, Brian, I'd like to voice over a commercial. I'd help in this way or that way. So that's what I'd like to do. And probably shouldn't say a whole lot about it now, but I will very shortly. We'll be coming out in the very, very near future, I suspect, knowing the crack team that's on top of it. We'll be coming out with a GoFundMe campaign to get the computers, to get the final line of the internet lines, to get everything we're going to need, all the advertising budget for Facebook ads and Twitter and LinkedIn and all the rest of that stuff. But we'll be launching a GoFundMe campaign to get us through to the 81 to win. Let me see, 81 hours with 2 peanut M&Ms in your mouth and spit them out in the end. Oh, that, yeah, wouldn't that be something? And then people could go, oh, wow, what's happened to your voice? I sound like the Godfather, right? Marbles. So no, but that's another great idea. I like it. I'll tell you what I could do though, is maybe just the 2 peanut M&Ms and I'll swallow them at the end of the hour. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be a nice little sugar buzz to keep me going. So that's another great idea. But, if there's something that you think of, we're going to have a couch built and we're going to have the platforms and all the microphones. So we'll have in-studio guests. People will be coming by. People will be, traveling in for the big shindig. So if there's anything else that you can think of, we would love. Bob will be bartending. I like that. Bob will be bartending. Hope you like Moscow mules. Ooh. Fallout Bob. Wait till you hear all about Fallout Bob. If you don't know of Lee's alter ego, you will very shortly. I would love for Fallout Bob to come and bartend. Although I better just drink like juice, maybe hydrogen water, something like that, because, it'd take me 81 minutes to, if it were to beer or something else. Although, Johnny Walker Blue Label, I wouldn't mind that. Sarah says, I know the for-profit stuff is ideal. How about local or larger non-for-profit agencies? I love where you're going with that as well, to speak for their organizations. Thank you very much, Sarah. That is a great idea. We're looking into all that. Sue's going to head up a good portion of that. I know the for-profit stuff is ideal. How about your local or larger non-profit agencies? Absolutely. And I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to tie it in, Sarah, with the Hydrocephalus Foundation, right? The people that have the shunts, and I'm a fortunate one. I get to have the shunt pulled out, but some folks that have hydrocephalus don't get to have the shunts removed. So we're thinking about tying it to the Hydrocephalus Foundation is all. And I love their logo. It's no more BS, which is no more brain surgeries. So I should also say, we talked a little bit about it last night. I am very, very lucky given all the things that could have gone south, all the things that could have gone wrong with this. And my heart goes out to the people that are stuck with shunts for the rest of their lives. So even though I kind of make fun of the way I look and I make fun of this and that, most people are able to grow a full head of hair. But I happen to be gifted with a shunt at about the same time I was going bald. Irish luck. Don't believe the hype. All right, 833-MIND-UPS, 833-MIND-UPS. I'm hoping, Joseph, how are you, sir? Nice to see you. Joseph, did I see a picture today of snow? Was that your front porch, your back porch, your side yard? Marie, how about interview Michael Bolden from the 10th Amendment Center? That would be great. That's a great idea. And I hope my good friend David Ray Bowman. David, thank you for stopping by. Nice to see you. I'd like to interview David Ray because I have to be honest with you. David was instrumental in me coming up with this idea. He's a good-looking guy, so he didn't have to, go to radio. He's got a face for doing whatever he wants to do. For me, I just ended up with a face for radio. So hopefully David could stop by as well. But see, that's exactly, Marie, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Might meet Michael Bolden from the 10th Amendment Center. We could get people from all walks of life that want to join in. I was kicking it around with Henry. I've been praying for you, my friend. Marcellus, thank you very much. Talk about you today on my show. Thank you, David. And Marcellus, thank you both very much. I super appreciate it. So another thing, Marie, I was kicking around. Henry and Wayne and I were kicking it around. Lee and Sue, for that matter, as well. What is there, like 191, 190, 193, right? Countries in the world? What if we tried to get a call in from every country in the world? Every country could be represented in the 8, right? Because if it's going to be a world record, I know that sounds a little corny, right? But if it's going to be a world record, why shouldn't we shoot for every country? Maybe you know someone from another country, right? I happen to know someone from Ecuador, so I can mark that off my list, I hope. And of course, I'm talking about Rita, right? I'm hoping Rita will call in. And I know someone from Michigan. That's like another country, right? When you stop and think about it. So there's 2 countries already that we could get. But maybe, Marie, that's one of the things to do. Where we could have, we have a big map put up, and I'll put up a little push pin every time we get a call. 833-MIND-UPS. Even here, I think, because Henry's going to be calling in a little bit to talk about what his show is going to be all about this evening. Thank you, Candace. I thought it would be kind of cool as well. Forgotten Men reunion. I like that one. Boy, I'll tell you, is it Josh and hi, Rita. Joseph, it's Josh and I'm sorry. No, this is not a joke. This really is the amnesia, right? Josh and yes, Snow, gone by 12. God love you. So enough time to have a snowball fight in the morning is what you're saying, Joseph. Very good. Very good. Colorado weather. Yeah, I'm with you. But maybe we could do that. Maybe we could have a map of the world and everyone gets, we can say, oh, yeah, great. Where are you calling in from? Mark. Yes, that's right. Thank you. Mark, is it Kreslin? Kreslin? See how far I can get my memory. And Josh, Mark and Josh, I always had a blast on that show. I always, I wasn't the smartest guy on the show ever, but I always had a blast calling in and hanging out. So maybe we could have them call in. But Marie, that's an excellent point. We just get people from around the world to call in. So a part of the 81 to win is it's really a world record. We make sure that every country on the map calls us. I love that idea. Matter of fact, we'll be changing the backdrop. We'll be doing some other things. And okay, cool. Detroit, Michigan. There, see? Thank you, Marcellus, very much. No, a couple other friends from Michigan, and it is always a blast there. Let me just say, every time I come to Michigan, I always have fun. So, in any event, that would be a cool idea. Survival session, very good, Joseph. We could do that. Rita says, I'm in. Thank you very much, Rita. I knew I could count on you. Thank you very much. So those are some of the things that we're going to be focusing on as we ramp this up as to what is it going to do so that if we go for the record and we make the record, but we can have fun while we're doing it. I don't know what they say about RVs on the street here, but people are welcome to come and hang out. I got, we could put some guest mattresses in the back of the studio and people could hang out for a bit and, we just have some fun with it. So just something to think about And you know, you're thinking, well, Bri, yeah, there's no other way I'd rather spend Valentine's Day than babysitting you on an internet radio attempt at a world record. But let me say again, the folks over at GWR were great because they say, oh, well, you know, you have to have a terrestrial, as I said last evening, a terrestrial radio station, and they're going to let me do it based on our little shindig here, our little nightly soiree that we have. So, but if you would, keep the ideas coming. Let me know what's going on. And I'm going to try to incorporate as many of those ideas as I possibly can. All right, long about this time, what we're going to do, see, Joseph, we were just talking about the other day, road trip would be great. Well, I've got one of those adapters, you know, you can plug in a RV, like 30 amp, 50 amp, whatever it's called. But if we could do that, then we could have, you know, like a bed and breakfast. That's what we'll do, an 81 to win bed and breakfast. All right, let me pay attention here for just a second. Hello, Henry.
Good evening, Mr. Brawdy. How are you, and how's your shunt doing?
I think the shunt is doing great, but I got to be honest, comedian friend, yes, that would be great. We're taking suggestions, Henry, as to what we could do to fill the 81 hours, but I don't want to take up my time because I only have 5 minutes with you, and I can blather on about what's going to go down on Valentine's Day. I know it's a very special day for you. So maybe you could comment on that quickly. And then what is Thinking Re-envisioned all about tonight? You're into your first week. You're already in the top 10 at ipmnation.com/TR now. What are you going to be talking about tonight?
Well, thank you. Well, thanks to Joseph Haggerty last night and Mary. He sent a question in right at the end of the show.
Cool.
And I didn't get a chance. I was going to go ahead and write him, and I felt it was going to be slighted because I was tired and really not quite awake. So this morning I started writing, and ended up writing the entire show, going to be on right and wrong, and tried to explain a lot of that. And so this whole show is going to be dedicated to Joseph and to Mary Haggerty for the question that they sent in last night.
Oh, very cool. So then if it's dedicated, I have to go ahead and get out my heavy metal air guitar, so that'd be good. If anyone's we could watch you cook dinner for your Valentine. Let's not get carried away, Sarah. Although that would be cool. First time I ever cooked dinner could be at the end. But what I was thinking, Sarah, was about ending up the 81 at 6 o'clock dinner so that I could go out. Yeah, I'm much better at buying dinner. Henry, I don't know about you. Henry's a good cook. I bet you he's great at cooking dinner. I'm much better at buying dinner than I am cooking it.
No, I'm about the same boat as you are. I'm married to a tremendous cook.
Yeah. And Rita
that's
knows how to cook, too.
But yeah, February 14th, this coming February 14th is Rita and I's 10th anniversary. So, yeah, we're going to be having a ball.
Very cool, very cool. And you know what else? I had mentioned you earlier, because you play like the guitar and the banjo or something like that, right? Ukulele, right? What is it? What is the instrument you play?
The guitar.
Guitar. Or you could do like a riff, like a 7-second.
Hey, we can do it. We can do it.
Okay, well, you're on. You know, we're live now. So if you admit that it's going out over the air, you know, for for whoever's listening. So I'm putting you down. And let me mark this down. I have, so I get you down there for a song, and you qualify as another state. So that's cool. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that works. Yeah, get the pins ready.
That's right. I got it done. Okay, so see. But what do you think of that idea of a map?
I love
of the world, because if it's a world record, then everyone should get to comment on that.
No, absolutely. And I figured, you know, with all of the countries that listen to you now, why not? I mean, you could pull in quite a few of them, and that would be great, and just keep getting the word out and keep sending out messages to those and see what we can do about just spreading this thing all around the world as a virus, you know?
I like and Candace says Ireland, a friend plays the bagpipes. I love that. If she's got a friend in Ireland, that would be great, Candace. I think we're going to be able to talk Joseph into it. He says roadkill surprise cooking. Then I should just have an open invitation for Joseph and Mary to come here, and whatever roadkill he finds along the way, he just bags it up, right? And then gets here, we'll clean it and cook it. That's the type of programming that I just wouldn't think of on my own, right? Brother Wallman said earlier, he goes, oh yeah, why don't you just do 81 hours in heels? Yeah. See, I got to be careful because I get set up like that, and then I'll have all kinds of people. Oh, you're trying to culturally appropriate women that wear heels or whatever. So I let that joke go altogether. But
I think culture needs to be appropriated once in a while, you know.
Yeah, speaking about culture being appropriated, going to be a big night tonight. But I promised Wayne that I would literally let you go in 21 seconds.
You got it.
Yeah, so because I know you have a lot to get ready for. But let me just say this. I think it would be really cool if people were to send you questions like Joseph and Mary did, and then you went ahead and decided to dedicate an entire show to it. I think that's great.
Exactly.
I think that's what we should do. So when you say to people, email me or text me or tweet me or put it in the feed, you're serious about it.
I'm absolutely serious about it, and I don't know how any way to prove it, but this is what I do.
That's right. And you got a lot going on. You're like a writer, an editor. You got a magazine. You're always building something. You're like MacGyver when it comes to all the different things you're whipping up around the house, and a radio show and all these other things. So I think it's a great way. People can send in and they can help. Like I get the help here. They can help in terms of producing a live show.
Absolutely.
There you go. All right, brother. Good luck tonight. Congratulations again for moving into the top 10 as quickly as you did. And
thank you very much.
I'll let you go so that you can prepare for that. Thank you so very much.
And thank you, guys. And thanks for everybody for staying on and tuning in with us. I really appreciate the support. Thanks a million.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sir, have a great evening.
You too, brother. Talk to you soon. Bye, man.
Bye.
All right, so there we go. The incomparable Henry G. Noel. Thinking Re-Envisioned. He'll be coming up here in just a few minutes. I have a question about international calling in. Oh, don't worry, Candace, we have an 800 number. So if you know of someone that wants to call in, we have an 800 number. So you won't have to worry about that at all. All right, so in the closing 3 minutes before we get ready to throw it over to the studio and to Wayne so he can prepare for Thinking Re-Envisioned, I was supposed to mention that this is the 360th episode. 360th episode of All Natural Being. And I really want to thank you all for sticking with me. I want to thank Henry again for the last month and covering for me while I was down. But you, the listener, for sticking with me, because it's through all the surgeries, through the tumor, all the surgeries, everything else that I've been going through, to be the number one show here on IPMNation.com. It really is truly humbling. And everything that Matt Connerton has done for me and that Jenny has done for me at IPM Nation, everything that Henry and Wayne did in the interim when I was down to help keep me up and going, it truly is very humbling. So I thank you all for all of that. All right, so what do we have going here? I wanted to make sure that I thank. Here's Rita again. Sarah says she meets the dinner for your Valentine request roadkill cooking. We could absolutely do that. Marcia says, yes, a map sounds spectacular. So that's what I'm going to start to set up. We'll start to set up not only, because I'd like to go after some people, and I'm going to ask Lee to kind of kick it around with me tomorrow night, but some of the internet titans that we know and that we've heard of, have them call in, have some medical professionals call in, pretty much as we ramp up any of the things where you're like, oh, you know what? I'd like to ask someone a question about that. I'd like to look at this or that. Those would be the types of people that I want to invite on. But yeah, if we had a map of the world, and we'll just spin the globe, right? We'll give the lat long. And then if it's going to be a world record, we try. We don't stop until we get, and I think it's like 191, 192, somewhere around in there, every country in the world calling in and going, hey, here's where I'm calling from. Tell us a little bit about your country. Tell us a little bit about what you're into. And we go from there. All right. Don't forget, tomorrow night we'll be back, 833-MIND, UPS, mind-ups, just like push-ups or sit-ups or pull-ups. Rita says, armadillo on the half shell. Primo roadkill. You know what? I have to tell you, that almost sounds good. And that's not just a joke about me being from West Virginia. That really does sound good. All right, everyone. Thank you so very much. Rita and Candace, thank you for joining me. Sarah, by all means. Marcellus, Marcia, thank you so very much for joining us here at All Natural Being. Joseph, please tell Mary we said hello. Hopefully you're recovering from the loss of the snowball battle this morning before the sun came up and warmed everything else. Thank you for joining us tonight. And, oh, look, let me just play this because you know how much I love the sound effects. It is election night, so however you voted, however it turns out, there's going to be a little bit of this going on. Right? And that's why I'm so excited about the show tonight, because no one's going to be looking, until like another 30 minutes or so until the real returns start to come in. So thank you so very much for that. Stick around right here. We're going to go ahead and send the signal over. Right about now is when I'm supposed to text Wayne, right? Which, if he's listening, you'd think, well, I really don't have to text him, but I'm supposed to text him now and say, take it away, Wayne. Thank you all so very much. We'll be back tomorrow night. I hope whoever you voted for wins. We'll be able to kick that around tomorrow. Thank you so very much for joining us. And you can see with the countdown clock, and Lee, if you're still with us, that's why it's so important to have the official time sponsor be Sales Copy Academy, because now I can look at the clock and go, okay, here's exactly what I have to do. Here's how much time, 13 seconds left before we kill the feed. Thank you so very much for joining us here at All Natural Being. We will see you back tomorrow for the 361st episode. Thank you so very much. We'll see you then. Oh, we could go like that, and then I guess I could go over here, and I could play a little bit of this. Good night, everybody.